To demonstrate the technique for checking your square for true 90 degrees, I've selected as a workbench a melamine top kitchen island that I've taped poster board to so that any lines that I make I'm not actually drawing on the countertop. So to check our square, what I'll do is take the square, pull the short blade firmly up against the flat surface of the island, hold it snugly in place, mark the inside lower corner, mark the top of the long blade, flip the square over, repeat the process, pull it snugly against the countertop, check our lines. In this case, this is demonstrating a 90-degree angle because the lines will line up again. So let's assume that this square was not 90 degrees. In that case, as I drew my line at the top of the blade, it'll either be to the right or to the left of my original line. At that point then, I make a decision as to whether or not I need to open the angle and make it greater or close the angle to decrease the angle. And I do that by expanding the middle of the square. So if the angle is too great and I want to close the angle of the square, what I would do is along a diagonal of the short blade, a true diagonal. My long blade is usually wider than the short blade, so I want a true 45 across the short blade. I would start at the outside corner, approximately 1/8 of an inch in, take a nail set, hammer, a good firm surface, which is not this countertop, and I would expand the middle by striking about 1/8 of an inch in along that diagonal with the hammer. Perhaps move a little more for a square this large. Tap it again. If I want to close the angle a great deal, I would flip the square over, move up along the diagonal even a little bit further, tap it, and tap it. And I should have at that point expanded the metal on the outside edge, which would close the angle. And if I've made the judgment that the angle is too small and I want to open up the angle of the square, I would go to the inside corner of the square, along the diagonal, about 1/8 of an inch in, tap it again. If I want to open it up even more by expanding the metal at the inside to cause the square to open, I would flip it over, same thing, move up inside, tap on the inside firmly on a good hard surface, workbench surface, so that I can not damage the surface and yet force the square to open. So now I've expanded the metal and I think my square is probably accurate. To check it, simply go back to the original position along the edge of the countertop, pull the short blade firmly against the countertop, make a reference line at the inside corner toward the top, flip the square over, pull it firmly against the countertop, lining up the inside corner where the short blade and long blade join, pull it firmly against the countertop, make sure that the lines line perfectly in line, and it is. So our square is now accurate at 90 degrees.